Testing. There it is. Yeah. No.
Wow, it's time. It is officially time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest game of the 2023-2024 Debmarine Premiership season. Let me repeat that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest game of the season in the 2023-2024 Namibian Debmarine Football Premiership season. Have to say the full thing. It is Ongos FC versus African Stars. Ongos FC are the home team, African Stars the away team. And the reason why it is the biggest game of the season, it is because the away team, African Stars, are top of the log, and the home team, Ongos FC, are second in the log. As most of you already know, African Stars have 60 points. Ongos FC have 57 points. Both teams have played 28 games, so there are 2 games left for both teams. This being one of those 2 games. African Stars will play Orlando Pirates in their last game, and Ongos FC will play Young African, a team that African Stars beat on Friday 3-1. And African Stars will be playing Orlando Pirates, a team that Ongos FC drew against in their last game 0-0. Again, thank you for joining in. My name is Emmanuel Enkara. I am not on social media, so you will not be able to find me, unfortunately. Only on LinkedIn. But I am honored, I am privileged, and I'm proud to witness and commentate a game of this importance. Many people could have been in my position, but you chose me to be here to cherry on the Red Army as they attempt to get all 3 points to win the Debmarine Premiership here on the 21st of April 2024. As the ball kicks off, I shall read the starting lineups for Ongos FC and African Stars. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share to your football friends and family. This is the biggest game of the season. We are live. It's here, it's now. So tell everybody that you know that watches football to tune in to this broadcast. We are going to have fun in this game regardless of the result. But of course, this is African Stars TV. So I am biased. Because I want the Red Army to get all 3 points. And here we go. Buckle up. Starting lineup for Ongos FC, of course, the goalkeeper Jonas Matthews. Ongos FC are starting on the ascendancy just with a shot. First shot goes to them. In the back line, we have the number 22, Thomas Akapong, along with Larry Huraep. Sorry, Larry. I know him personally. I always have a problem with his surname. But Larry, we all know Larry, the left back. Then we have Stanley Javera and Chingi will complete the backline for Ongos FC. In the midfield, we have the number 2, Tumo. We have the number 8, Stars need to be careful here as the goalkeeper, who is obviously slotting in for the injured and player that has received his third yellow card in a row in the season, so he is suspended. That is Disiro. So it is the goalkeeper of Marvin Kasetura who is replacing the formidable Disiro. So it will be something to watch out for, especially for the Ongos players. Maybe test the goalkeeper. This is his. This is a very very edgy game to come and start in for the goalkeeper. So watch out for that. And of course, just to continue the starting lineup for Ongos FC, Gome, the number 10, one of my favorite players personally. He's a talisman there in the midfield, the number 10 for Ongos FC. Number 13, Nicodemus Haikali, who scored against African Stars in the previous game that ended 3-2. In that game, Haikali scored the third goal. And of course, Emilio Martin scored an own goal in that game, as we all remember as African Stars fans. And here's African Stars having a chance. Kambatu will take a shot. It's a left one, and it's left right over the box. Kamutuzu, the number 8, is the other midfielder in midfield. And Zasep, apologies, Osvaldo Sabsep, the number 14, with a cross in the box, but Kasetura safely in the hands for the new goalkeeper. And up front for Ongos FC will be the two strikers in Elago Simon. No penalty there. It was a little bit soft there from Kambatu. He was maybe reaching to make the referee make a decision, but nothing doing. Here's Kwesi. Too many touches there for Angelo. And here's Haikali. Caught out there from Gianluca. Gianluca obviously getting a penalty in conceding a penalty in the last game, but doing well to have an assist, almost an assist in the follow up as African Stars won 3-1 against Young African. And the other striker, of course, is Theophilus, the captain, the number 20 for Ongos FC. For African Stars, of course, as I said, in goal is the new man, Marvin Casitura. It is Gianluca at right back, Hambira, and Kambanda is playing right back. So Garuka is not starting this game. And of course, Jackson Johannes is at left back. Garuka is apparently not even on the bench for today's game. So perhaps an injury or a suspension has fall upon the strongest man in the league. And then in the midfield, of course, our captain Stiga, along with Bakonja, who I have to apologize to, who was the player who scored the second goal against Young African, and it was not Gasep. I went to him personally and shook his hand before the game. Good footwork there and it is a very interesting challenge on Gome. My goodness, that could have been a penalty. Apologies, it wasn't Gome, but it was the right winger for Ongos FC. The crowd really reacting to that. That was very close there. And the referee has given it as a either an offside or a foul to African Stars. But two interesting penalty calls from both teams, but both very soft. That was Elago Simon who was impeded in the box, and he was angry, thought it was a penalty. And my personal opinion that Elago Simon will be one of the players to watch on the right wing. Of course, Nicodemus Haikali is the other one to keep your eye on, and Simon puts it into the box trying to find Theophilus. Theophilus loses the ball to Kambanda, and it is back in the back line for Ongos FC. And just to finish off the starting lineup, it is obviously Stiga, Kwezi, and Bakonja in the midfield, and the top three, the usual three of Juja. Bad challenge there from Kambanda. My goodness. And he actually came off worse. He actually came off worse. The medical team making their way on because he has not moved. And I'm sure if you see in that replay that Kambanda did commit the foul, but he did come off second best. Quite a worrying moment here for African Stars as we will look at the bench to see if perhaps Edmund Kambanda has to leave the pitch due to an early injury. As defenders, we have Gavin Mutuzu along with Romario Njavera, of course, who could easily slot in to that right back position. But I believe Edmund Kambanda would be able to continue, but it is a interesting free kick here for Ongos FC. A right-footed man would really be able to slot this in, and it will be the right-footed man that to take that free kick, but it is Nicodemus Haikali that has hit the wall, and he will take the subsequent corner. Kambanda has re-entered the game, so Stars are back to 11. Corner, first corner of the game for both teams. It comes in, and good, strong, commanding punch there from Marvin Kasetura. Little bit of a counter attack here for Stars, but out there from the defender Larry. Watching from Okanja, Walvis Bay, Tume, the United Kingdom, Manchester. Opuo. 16-0. This commentator is talking. What is 16-0? I have no idea what 16-0 means. If you're talking about the biggest goal score line in the Premiership so far, it was 10-0. African Stars beating Young Brazilians 10-0. If you want to test my knowledge, I can tell you who scored in that game. But so far, minutes gone, almost no real chances for both teams. Just two light penalty questions to the referee, but both definitely not strong enough. And Kasetura doing well there with his footwork, and Kambatu doing well with his footwork, but offside, unfortunately. Watching from Japan, wow. Arigato. Watching from Arandes, Grootfontein, New York. Wow, New York, New York. Roikana. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe and tell your football friends and family, all 240 of you, that we are live watching the biggest game of the season. Willie Stefanos just got a little bit of a knock there on his head from the number 3, Javera Stanley. But of course, you will be able to continue. Might not even end up as a free kick, but more of a throw in. Job ball from the referee. Antarctica. Are you seriously watching from Antarctica? Like, no, no, no. That's not possible. That's not possible. There's Javera just being pressured there from Willie Stefanos, and he's doing the good thing by just keeping it out. Watching from Murundu, watching from Swakis. Throw in. Stefanos, Kambatu. Stefanos will chip it in. He does, but safely out there. Gets a second opportunity. Might have to switch it to his left. He doesn't. Keeps it on his right. He's trying to beat the defender. But Wangu Gome cleaning up well. That's why he is the number 10. And here's Gome once again cutting in field, keeping the ball. That's what he does. Javera Gome. That's what he does, Gome. He plays football. And Banda almost being beaten with a little bit of trickery from Stanley Javera. That was live. You don't want to be beaten on camera like that. Very, very close opportunity as Stanley got in behind of Edmund Kambanda and maybe could have made a 45 pass to a striker, but it has led into a corner. Corner comes in and safely in the hands of Marvin Kasetura. Strong header from Larry and Kambad to out. Javera has found himself as a defender in a midfield position here. He needs to continue play, but he loses the ball, and Juja loses the ball, unfortunately. Ongos FC will take 3 points representing Oshakati. Oh, let's see. Let's see, my man. Watching from Iran. Are you guys just mentioning weird countries that you probably not in, but you are just saying you are there? Is anybody watching from Ecuador? If somebody is watching from Ecuador, we will try to send you something. Watching from Bolton, UK. Wow. Share with your football friends and family from all the countries that you are in and tell them that this is the penultimate game of the Namibian season. Tell them, tell your European friends, your South American friends, your North American friends that this is Namibian football. And I'm speaking English, so they will be able to understand, hopefully. If they didn't know that English people speak English in Africa. Apparently, people think that we speak African in Africa, which is incredible. Foul on Theophilus that will now result in another opportunistic free kick for Ongos FC, which Nicodemus Haikali will take. Haikali really has an agenda versus African Stars. He's the one that really has voiced his intent to score and win Ongos FC the title. So he will be involved in anything and everything. He puts the ball in, but it could not find Chingi, one of the center backs. And it still results in a throw-in for Ongos FC, which must be said in these first 15 minutes of the game. Ongos FC have had most of the possession. 2 corners, 2 free kicks in close proximity of the box. And here comes another attacking possession for Ongos FC. bullying some of the African Stars players. Javera puts the ball in, but Hambira is very smart. His positioning is always on par. Juja releasing the ball, and it's safely back into the hands of Mateus. Chingy just unfortunately kicking it out, and Stars will maybe have a time to rest and start their passage of good football, good combinations. Here's Gianluca, who was playing right back in the last game. So he's now at the right sided center back with Kambanda, who was playing left back in the last game. Here he is at right back. And Gianluca does well to clean up, not letting Gome get him on the turn. Here's Gome again, beaten one player. Strong tackle on Stiga, but Stiga stands stronger. Kambatu, Bakonja, trying to find Kambatu, but it's safely intercepted there from Chingy. And the ball has found Elago Simon. Very crafty player here, very smart. He will get an opportunity today, Elago. That's a good pass. The cross will come in and the opportunity will be there. Shoo. Nicodemus Haikali, the man who I have suggested will be looking for blood today, the number 13. Maybe his number is a bad luck charm, as a simple cross headed on by Theophilus back into the box, and all he had to do was header the ball straight, and Nicodemus Haikali headed it wide, but definitely a big chance. I mean, most of you that play football on Sunday League football, will be able to score that. For a Premier League player, that should have been 1-0 to Ongos FC in the first 20 minutes of the game. Larry standing strong with Juja. And Gianluca almost finding Stefanus there with that header. Foul on Johannes from Simon. Just going back in some of your comments. They are capping, they are in the country. Wow. Guys, don't say that you are watching from England and funny countries, but you are here when you are supposed to be at the Independence Stadium. If you are in Windhoek, you can still make your way to the stadium. It's only 20 minutes in the game. You'll definitely be able to see the second half in full, and maybe the celebrations, as African Stars need 3 points to win the league. A draw is not enough, but if you look at the goal difference, it's basically the league. If it does end in a draw, Ongos FC will not have any opportunity to win this league. It's very tricky at the top of the log. Make sure to pay attention to Kumas Nampol. Kumas Nampol are playing today. Kumas Nampol are playing Civics. So please make sure you pay attention to that game. And Kambatu just kicks the ball away as he conceded a foul, and he's talking to the referee. He doesn't want to get into the referee's book this early into the game. Of course, he's not a player that uses heavy tackles, but yellow cards are not favorable in a game of this importance. Watching from Brazil, Dubai. I'll mention the countries either way. Canada. Somebody's watching from Russia. Stiga losing the ball in the midfield. Nicodemus. Here's Simon. He puts the ball in. And Kambanda headers it out, but Theophilus. Shot. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A shot for a throw-in. You see one every now and then. It's always good to see a shot for a throw-in. You are privileged to watch a shot for a throw-in. It's just a nice thing to see in football sometimes. There's a football agent in the group. His name is Stone. Watching from Arandis. Ongos are playing good. Yep, I agree. What is the score? The score line is 0-0. The score update, the time is right in front of you at the top of your screen in the center. The sound is good today. Yes, yes. I drank a lot of water today, so no beer, no nothing on Saturday. I slept very well in anticipation for this game. I hope all of you have. The stadium is, let's say, 50% full. Maybe I'm being too positive or optimistic, but a through ball does get put in an optimistic area of the field for Haikali from Theophilus, and Haikali still has the ball and he still has the right mind to find Javera. And that's a foul again from Gianluca on Haikali, the number 13, who has been lively so far in this game. Ongos FC started off quickly. Chingi finding his other centre back, Thomas. And here's Thomas. I called him Thomas, of apologies. Thomas finding Larry. Straight out there, unfortunately. Definitely a win here today. Depending on which team you're talking about, both teams are definitely looking for a win. As we interviewed some of the fans before the game, we would definitely like to interview some of the fans after the game, depending on what happens. But in any case, the fan engagements have really been a great new feature for African Stars TV, as you also can have a voice on how your team is doing in the Premier League. So, yes, make sure you come to the stadiums, make sure you attend these games. Gianluca Kambada. Ambira had to clear that long and falls back into the hands of Stanley Javera. And Haikali is strong and perhaps wins that throw in, which I slightly disagree with. But here's still an opportunity. Gome chipping Stiga. And here's Juja Yosef Bakonja. Stefanus with a little bit of a chip, and he does make it a little bit awkward for Larry. Juja still has the time to put the ball back into the box, but Mateus is alert. And you are correct, Siso. African Stars have not won a game, or their last game ended in a 3-2 result. And as I see the teams at this 24th minute in the first half, will be having a water break. Perhaps this is a time to look at other score lines around the country, just to maybe watch out for Komas Nampo. But here, as it stands, it is Ongos FC 0, African Stars 0. And of course, that game, 3-2, it was in round 2 of the season, the second game of the season for African Stars. An own goal from Emilio Martin, unfortunately. And then Stars went 2-0 down. And Angelo Kwesi, started the insurgency for Stars, making it 2-1. But then Nicodemus Haikali really put it out of African Stars' hands by making it 3-1. Juja scored the subsequent consolation goal to make it 2-3. But Ongos FC did steal 3 points from African Stars. So There is the rivalry there. There is a sense of wanting to get something back from this team, but perhaps if you concentrate on wanting to get revenge, you will lose sight of what is most important, and that is winning the league as soon as possible. We have a very good update here from Shipu. Kokarara is winning 1-0. Civics are beating, wow, Civics are beating Comas Nampo. That is the result we were looking for. Thank you very much, sir, for that update. Wow. Comas Nampo are losing, so they probably have given up. And as the game continues, still looking for a very out and out opportunity for African Stars. They haven't had one other than a tame, a light penalty that was definitely ruled out by myself and the referee early in the start of the game. African Stars haven't had any opportunities, and that is how strong and commanding Ongos FC are. But if you guys have had the opportunity, if you have had the opportunity, and if Theophilus has had the opportunity, what would he do with it? We got the answer. He would kick it over the crossbar. Miscommunication between Casetura and Gianluca has almost led to a very, very easy goal for the captain of Ongos FC, but he will hold his head in disbelief more than disappointment that he kicked it over in a haste. Wow. But African Stars, Gianluca and Casetura need to get more connected, as mistakes at the back will be a costly feature to this game, as the whole country is watching in anticipation for African Stars to win the league. And if you mess up at the back, your name will forever be remembered if it doesn't go well for the Red Army. Chula Chula 0-0 versus Live Fighters. Chula Chula now are, of course, 7th in the log. We had one discussion with one of their fans, and they said, yes, of course, we probably would have liked to be higher in the log, but for the first season, we have been the spirit of the season, which I tend to agree with. But maybe results could have been better, as Chula Chula now currently sitting 7th in the log. Here's Kambatu finding Kwesi. Kambatu got a knock there, and Kwesi wins the foul against Tumo. And here finally African Stars can have an opportunity on goal. Kambatu, Weturu Kambatu with the free kick. He has 16 assists. Weturu Kambatu, 11 goals. And of course, Awilo now has 15 goals, 15 assists for a 30-game season. He has given half assists and half goals. He has been involved in everything. What more can you say? Obviously, Juja has 8 goals. So those are the 3 talismen for African Stars. Kambatu, very well done there, finding Kambanda. 1-2 between the two. Maybe a corner will suffice, but he puts in across. Stefanos with the header, and it goes out for a corner. But there is an applause from the Red Army finally warming up their lungs to cheer their team in a good attempt to put it 1-0 to African Stars, but nothing doing so far. And maybe if it was Juja that was on the end of that header, it would have been 1-0, as Juja's heading ability is one that I continue to applaud. Ibrahim Yosef Juja, the number 21 for African Stars, playing on the left wing, and he's just won a free kick, 4 stars, which the left man Bakonja Chahikika will probably take. Kambatu is trying to get involved in this free kick, so maybe it will be an in swinger from Kambatu, or and it will be a free kick from Kambatu, and perhaps an outswinger from the left-footed player would have been better. In swingers from those positions normally fall into the hands of goalkeepers, and that is exactly what happened. As the season comes to an end, regardless of the result, let us know who your favorite player has been this season. Now, of course, it is Awilo and Kambatu with the goals and the assists, but let us know what other players impressed you this season other than Kambatu and Awilo, Willie Stefanos. Let us know who impressed you as an African Stars fan this season, and perhaps even who impressed you for Ongos FC and maybe Komas Nampo. Who are the players that really have impressed you this season, with a free kick being attempted from Nicodemus, just an header there from Javera, and it probably nicked one of the heads of African Stars, one of the African Stars players, to result in what I believe is the third corner for Ongos FC. The defense needs to be tight. There's two men that are marking the front post, which is unusual, but it is out. Aikali, Gome, was there a junkie? Gome does well. Shot, blocked. Gianluca Juja. Kambatu maybe has a second opportunity. Bad tackle. Bad tackle. That's a yellow card, Mr. Ref. From Larry. Jeez. And I'm looking at this. Yes, indeed. A yellow card for the number 6. No, apparently. I believe now the referee has perhaps not given it to Larry, but rather a player that was giving more of dissent, and it might have been the captain Theophilus there, the number 20, just running off now from the view of the camera. We will have to confirm that, but as it stands, I rightfully so, I believe that yellow card should have gone for the tackle in Larry, the number 6. But either way, free kick to Stars. Awilo takes it. And Bakonja couldn't follow up there at the back post, but does win a corner for the Debmarine Championship champions, who are looking to retain their title today. I can confirm that the cup is here. I saw it. Now somebody's calling for a red card indeed. Mr. Sam, you say number 13 of Komas Nampo has been your favorite player so far. As the corner comes in. Oh, beautiful, beautiful punch there from Mateus, the goalkeeper. Really commanding there. We will try to confirm the number 13 from Komas Nampo to see who that is. Grave, number 5. 10 Ongos FC Gome. Yeah, I believe Gome has been impressive this season. Awilo, Bakonja. Bakonja missed time pass, but he wins it back. He does well. He takes the shot, and Thomas with a good header deflected into the hands of his goalkeeper. But another opportunity here for Stars, but Larry does well to keep Juja out. Wilka says it was a red card, maybe a yellow, so I hope it does. He did get that yellow. Lawrence Tause from Chula Chula and Chacha Tingi from Nampo. I just asked a question: who has been your player of the season so far? And for African Stars supporters, who has been your African Stars player of the season, other than, of course, Kambatu and Stefanos? I'm sure one of the two will take player of the season, but who else can you give congratulations to for a very good campaign? Well, it will be a very good campaign if they win the league today. The time is in the center, top center of your screen, but it is the 37th minute so far in the game. Jode says Hambira, Charles Hambira. Charles Hambira has won African Stars 9 points single handedly, scoring 3 winning goals, game winning goals. So that's very important. And we wouldn't say he's injury prone, but he's done well in this last stretch of the season, keeping himself healthy, Charles Mbira. And that's good for Ronnie Canalero. Javera with the throw in, finding the captain, losing it out to Stiga. Stefanos, Kambatu. Kambatu has a defender on his heels, and he's used that defender to win a throw in. That was Thomas, the number 22. Just doing well to stay on the heels of Kambatu, not committing a foul. Because comes in, needs to be cleared. Kwesi he didn't want to let that ball fall to the left foot of Kwesi. He would have hit it. And Gome does well. General there in the midfield. Handball, but referee allows it to continue. And that is the experience of Charles Mbira. Back to his goalkeeper. Game really opening up now in the last moments of the game. Kambatu with great control, but that pass was not on for Stefanos. Rivaldo Pris from Comas Nampo. Yes, that is the player that everyone, I believe that is number 13 for Comas Nampo. Yes, I agree. Rivaldo Pris has been electric this season. I think he scored 13 goals. The keeper, Mateus, is playing games here with Bakonja, and the ball from Chingi hasn't been safely cleared, and that might have been our own mistake from Ongos FC, almost getting a handball, but the referee not thinking so, and Stiga almost having his shot. Stiga always has one shot every half. He always attempts one shot every half. It was blocked, but opportunity for Gome. A shot turned into a pass, but it was offside. And of course, in your picture, you might be able to see the runner on the left flank for Ongos FC. Gome couldn't find him. He chose to take a shot for himself, which actually ended up in a pass to Theophilus, or let's say Haikali, but Haikali was offside. Chidolo, Garuka, some of you saying your favorite players of the season. But Of course, the accolades will be more favorable if you win the league. So between these three teams, Komas Nampo, Ongos FC, and African Stars, if you win the league, perhaps the player of the season will come from your team. Johannes Unona from Tigers, the number 4. Tigers, there's Emmanuel Apo 4, who scored a brace versus Komas Nampo in the previous game last weekend, or I believe it was on Friday or Thursday this week. So Emmanuel Apo 4 is probably one of the gooder players or better players from Tigers. To score a brace in the last 10 minutes of a game will get you a bonus, hopefully from your team's management. But so far in this game, Stars have really started to open up. Coach Elimu Chabala from Ongos FC may be the better or the happier of the two coaches between himself and Ronnie Cananello. He is still on the touchline, Mr. Chabala, Coach Chabala, making sure that his players understand what he wants. He hasn't sat down since the start of the game. So he demands more, but he should be happy with how Ongos FC have gone on to the game. African Stars have mounted a few opportunities, but not real clear-cut ones. And here's another clear-cut one for Theophilus. Jeez. He's probably not left-footed, but when you're right-footed and you are kicking with your left, or you are making a volley or attempting a volley with your left, you need to just have a swinger's left foot. Just make sure that you connect. And Theophilus, the captain, has now 2 great opportunities that will definitely be included in this highlights package, where Ongos FC could have taken the lead in this game. Opportunity for Kambatu. Tackle from behind. The referee has clearly seen a tackle from behind and has allowed it to continue. It's resulted in an offside for African Stars, but there was easily a tackle from behind on Weturu Kambatu, and I think Kambatu has suffered 2 heavy challenges so far in this game. Luckily, he's still able to continue. It will be a travesty if Kambatu had to leave this pitch for an injury of sorts. But the game continues with Elagos Simon, but Stiga cleans up, and Kasetura does well to at least find Juja. Juja needs to work. Johannes, maybe just a little bit of a touch finder, but only finding the goalkeeper of Ongos FC. The relegation battle is also interesting so far. Of course, Live Fighters are at the bottom of the log with 20 points. Orlando Pirates are second to bottom. They with 23 points, and next is Julinho Sporting. Okakarara Young Warriors won their last game, so they came out of the relegation zone. They have 26 points. Civics are the next team with 29, but I believe they will be safe as they are beating Komas Nampo as it stands. But that is the relegation battle. Everybody can still survive. Two games left for those 3 teams at the bottom. So if you are supporting Life Fighters, Jolinho Sporting, or Orlando Pirates, of course, African Stars playing Orlando Pirates in their last game. Kambatu with a chest and a foul and a yellow card to Weturu Kambatu, which is really harsh, I believe. Maybe for dissent, but so far I think the referee has slightly been a bit harsh on not African Stars in general, just Weturu Kambatu. He has suffered two hard challenges, and he's been given a yellow card for maybe just dissent. But that is how the game goes. Gome with a beautiful pass to Aikali. Aikali has space to work now against Gianluca. Aikali is tricky. He finds his captain, Nicodemus. But Kambanda does well. And that is half time. A comment here from Pandelene Nekundi Stiga and Hambira provide a strong base, which allows other players to play without much concern. But Pris Rivaldo has led Comas Nampo to compete this season, and Shidolo has done well himself. With Turu and Kambatu and with Awilo definitely edge it above everyone. But so far, it is still a stalemate between these two giants of the Debmarine Premiership, number 1 and number 2. It is Ongos FC 0, African Stars 0. We will stay live with you so we can maybe have a bit of fun during this halftime break. But for those leaving and coming back, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. We will be here when you come back. Go drink some oros, go get some bread, and tell your friends and family that we are still live here at the Independence Stadium. Just one question in the chat. We have a question from Cantini, who says, nice game. What is the point and goal difference? So African Stars have 60 points and Ongos FC have 57 points. Now, this is their second last game of the season. Both of these teams have one more game. African Stars will play Orlando Pirates. Ongos FC will play, I believe, Young African. The goal difference between the two teams is that African Stars has a goal difference of 35 goals, or 35, let me say, and Ongos FC have 20. So Ongos FC's goal difference is very bad compared to 35 for African Stars. So that changes things. If Ongos FC win today, they will still be second. Let me repeat that. If Ongos FC win today, 3 points today against African Stars, Ongos FC will still be second by goal difference. And that makes it interesting for Comas Nampo. Unfortunately, as it stands, Comas Nampo are losing to Civics. If Comas Nampo had to win, they will go to 58 points. So if Ongos FC win today and Comas Nampo win today, which is the worst scenario for African Stars fans, it will be 60, 60, 58 going into the last game of the season for all three teams. And that is what makes it very interesting. So you can calculate whatever scenario you want after that. But if African Stars lose today and Comas Nampo win, it makes the last game of the season the most important game of all time. But all the eyes will be on African Stars because African Stars need to win. And to be honest, it will be on Ongos FC because if Ongos FC win and African Stars maybe draw or lose in their last game, then Ongos take the league. So many scenarios. Eslon says that Charles Mbida and Denzel Housep have been his two favorite players of the season so far. Somebody's watching from India. I was with a Indian gentleman last night at a birthday party. So Indian people are very kind, and yeah, they enjoy their whiskey. But at the bottom of the log, make sure Orlando Pirates. Wow, it needs to be said that Orlando Pirates is not a team that we all want to leave. Of course, if anybody was watching live Ongos FC versus Orlando Pirates, that was probably one of the best games to end in a 0-0 result. I somebody in this chat room must have been watching Ongos FC versus Orlando Pirates that happened on Thursday. That was one of the best games of football that I've seen, and it ended up in a 0-0 result, just like I believe Real Madrid versus Arsenal in the Champions League semi-final years ago when Henry was still playing. It ended up in a 0-0 result, but that was one of the best games of football ever played. Let me know if anybody remembers that game, Real Madrid versus Arsenal, I believe, when Arsenal went to the final that year. 2003, 2004, or 2004, 2005. There was a game, Real Madrid versus Arsenal. It ended in a 0-0 result. Henry obviously scored that important goal where he ran through the Real Madrid team. But that first game at Highbury was a very good game. It ended 0-0, which was the same type of game, Ongos FC versus Orlando Pirates. And that is probably where Ongos FC lost a little bit of encouragement to win this league. But they're doing well so far in this first 45 minutes. I would conclude to say that they've had the better chances, the better moments, and perhaps the better football. 0-0, Leonard, between these two teams. Hi, Shirley. You are back. Watching from Canada. Yes. You say 2-1 to African Stars. Okay, we'll hold you to that result. Did you get your shirt, by the way? You've always been requesting for a shirt. And of course, in other football news just around the season, Jolinho's leading goal scorer, although Jolinho are bottom of the log, they have scored 15 goals this season. Jolinho Sporting, 20 goals this season, and a player called Mapenzi has left the team, basically resigned from the team because of inter-organizational fights with the coach, and he was their leading goal scorer, almost scoring nine to 10 goals in the season. So there is a striker that is probably a free agent right now, and that is Mapenzi. Interestingly so. The scoreline is 0-0 to African Stars, but Meme Kauta is just suggesting that African Stars will win 1-0. So, Mekaita, if you do get that result correct, we will send you a chocolate to your house. Yeah, maybe a bar one or a. Looking at last season, African Stars obviously won the league and Blue Waters came second. Interestingly so, which is quite amazing, Life Fighters came third last season. Yes, let me say it. The team that is currently bottom of the Premiership came third last season. That's amazing. It's quite amazing that live fighters have totally fallen off. Perhaps they have given up certain players, but live fighters coming third last season and ending up basically lost and two. Testing one, two. Testing one, two. Oh, testing one, two. There we go. Sorry, testing one, two, three, four, five. Yes, we are back with our sound. Apologies. Yes, no. Make sure you put your predictions in the chat. We will obviously review that, and if your predictions are correctly, of course, I do not make those decisions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just the commentator. But if we do win the league today, here on Sunday, and you have predicted your scoreline correctly, maybe management will be happy enough to do something for you. But so far, it is still 0-0 between Ongos FC and African Stars. Naftali, yes, the sound is back and you are back. I remember you from our previous stream. So welcome back. Obviously, some of you are regulars. Shirley is definitely a regular from Canada. I remember you. Any updates, Sir Stephen? Yes, it is halftime. The players are just coming back onto the pitch for the second half, and it is goalless so far. So 0-0 to both teams. Substitutions are being made from one from African Stars. As you can see in our picture there, Harold Gossip is perhaps entering the game. Again, apologies to himself and Bakonja as I wrongly announced that Gossip scored the second goal against Young African on Friday. In fact, it was Bakonja who scored that second goal to make it 2-1. And Bakonja does have 4 goals this season, 2 assists. Gossip does have 1 goal. He scored that in Okahanja. I remember that goal. And he is entering the field so far, and I believe it is for. We'll try to get the player that he has come on for. And it looks like Angelo Kwesi has left the game for Herald Gossip. Ongos FC have not made any changes, so they believe their first 11 will get the job done. Welcome back. We are back. Tell your football friends and family that we are back. Johannes with the long throw and safely away from Ongos FC. Must be said for everybody that is coming back into the game that the first half, well, the scoreline is 0-0. Ongos FC probably had better opportunities. Definitely the captain himself, the number 20 for Ongos FC, Jonias Theophilus, had the two of the best opportunities. He basically blasted them over the crossbar when he was clear on goal. So he will have that on his mind throughout the game unless he rectifies that. But that's a cross in from Awilo, trying to find Kambatu and Gossip. Maybe a little bit of a mix up, but Gossip wins it back. He's going to put it back into the box and he has a tame pass, which is intercepted. Kambatu, space! Too high for Juja, but Awilo finds it back into the box and he just kicks it out. Wow, very uncharacteristic day for Awilo. But African Stars having their first opportunity, and again, it must be said, Gerald Gossip here on the left wing is a quick, direct, and potent player, the number 23 on this left flank for African Stars, the closest player in our picture right now. And he will get on the ball. He will pressure Larry. He will pressure Thomas, the left-sided centre back, and the right-sided centre back and the right back for Ongos FC. So watch out for Gossip, the number 23 for Ongos FC. Here as Gome controls in the midfield. And here is Larry finding Nico Haikali, who loses out to Thomas. Larry, he turns Gossip pretty well there. Larry is obviously experienced. Gome, and there is a little bit of miscontrol there from the number 2, Tumu, giving it back to Stars. Kambatu, Gossip, Larry holding Gossip out, but Gossip does well. He's quick. He'll try to keep it in, which he does for a throw-in. And that's what Ronald Gossip can do with his quickness and tenaciousness. If tenaciousness is a word, don't quote me on that. Haikali, Larry, Charles Mbira, Bakonja, Wanted a flick there, but not too much on the ball, and it's finding Haikali Nicodemus. Good turn there, and Gome doing well. Wangu Gome, it's just a magician there in the box, and Stiga hasn't beaten Stiga one on one. Stiga is fine with it being in the center of the pitch, but as soon as Gome tries to get in more ascending positions, that's, I believe, when Stiga will put in those all important tackles. But Stiga is he's working well, making sure nothing really cuts through the middle. There is Stiga now on Gome, just making sure he doesn't cut through. Just watching his player. Theophilus, the captain, trying to find Haikali, but Hambira is always in a good position. Haikali shot, just grazed his right foot and spinned out of control well wide. Juja with the chest, and he wins the foul quite luckily, though. And ascendancy now is with Stars. They need to build. They need to build. This is 3 points that the Red Army want to win. This is a day that the Red Army want to win the title. So the attitude needs to pick up slightly for African Stars. And Bakonja Chaikika will take this free kick. It will be that in swinger, or let's say out swinger. Maybe the back post. Kambatu is putting his hands up. It does find a little bit of the back post, but I think it just went well through both the goalkeeper and Gianluca. But Bakonja is a talented player with that free kick foot of his, with the free kick mind of his. He scored one of the best free kicks this season against young Brazilians. Apologies. That free kick will not be forgotten. Make sure you go on YouTube and watch African Stars versus Young Brazilians again. Apologies. Young Brazilians, where they won 10-0. Bakonja scored a very good free kick in that game. Elago Simon trying to find Akali, but Ambira again, and Gianluca has lost it just for a second. And he's definitely saying apologies, as the entire bench of African Stars did not like that miscommunication or misconcentration from Gianluca. And he has apologized. He put his hands up for that. Those mistakes cannot cost you the title. Awilo trying too much on that through ball for Simon or Simon. If it ends this way, African Stars will have 61 points and Ongos FC will have 58 points. And officially, Ongos FC will not be able to win the league because of the superior goal difference that African Stars has over Ongos FC. African Stars has 35 and Ongos FC has 20. So unless Ongos FC beats the last team in the log by 15 goals, if this ends in a draw, the league is officially done for Ongos FC. Ongos FC have to win to have any opportunity to win the Debmarine Premiership. And that's what makes this game so important for both teams. Here comes Aikali. Good opportunity. The captain is costing his team. Let me stay quiet for a second. The number 20, let me try to say his full name. The number 20, the captain of Ongos FC, the striker, Junanus Theophilus, has had three great opportunities to put Ongos FC almost now 3 goals ahead. Him single-handedly. And he has missed all three. It's unfortunate. Of course, he doesn't want to deliberately miss, but he's looking like Nico Jackson from Chelsea in that game versus Manchester City. He just couldn't score. And that's maybe a warning. It's a big warning to African Stars here, as they will almost went down 3 times, as Ongos FC are definitely having more of the better opportunities. Good turn there for Mambira. Beaten. Gianluca is coming up too much, trying to pressure Gome. Gome will beat you, and he wins the free kick. Gome is too smart for that, Gianluca. He's too smart. Here's Gome again. Back heel. Smart. Haikali. He beats his player. Ball in the box. My goodness. It's the guy to clean up. Hospital pass, and the ball is back with Ongos FC, but it is a foul on Awilo, taken quickly, and Kambatu has a chance. He beats his first player. He beats his second. He takes a left-footed shot, and he's not left-footed, and it's a tame attempt in the end. Here's Elago. Simon. Gasep doing well. He stole it. What can he do now, Gasep? Kambatu. Stefanus wanted a volley, but Tumo intercepted that very well, and Kambanda fouls Tumo to give both teams a little bit of a breather. Yes, indeed. Yanda. Stars players are not serious at the back. It will cost them a goal if they are not serious at the back, especially with Theophilus. But Theophilus has been his own worst enemy, not being able to score those opportunities that have come to his bosom. That might be a foul there, just a little bit of a high foot on the player, but still a throw in to African Stars. And Haikali just needs to give that ball back, as it is Ongos FC who necessarily have the pressure, because they need to win this game in order to have any chance to win the game. So there will be no time wasting from Ongos FC. For African Stars, a draw cancels Ongos FC out, but it will then depend on what happens to Komas Nampo. If anyone can give us an update on Komas Nampo, they were losing 1-0 to Civics. If this game ends in a draw, the cup will not be lifted, but mathematically and realistically, the log will be the season will be over if Komas Nampo draw or lose. If Komas Nampo draw or lose, and this game ends in a draw, the cup will not be lifted, but mathematically and realistically, African Stars have won the league. So please make sure that Komas Nampo game That Comas Nampo game is one that we pay attention to, the Red Army. That is my personal request. Thank you, Lisa. Indira is at the stadium. Apparently, she wants a chocolate that she won on Friday. Oh, she's here. Oh, wow. Tell her that I'll be popping champagne on the field if African Stars win. And here's Gossip now in the wind. But the number 22, Thomas, doing well to stop the quick player. Naftali, thank you very much. Somebody said on Instagram that African Stars needs to get a better commentator. And then somebody else commented, at least he's authentic, which I appreciate. Because let me try and commentate like how most commentators commentate for a few seconds. And here we have Elago Simon. He passes the ball. Hendida. Ambira does well to stop it. And the cross comes in. Awilo with the header. Awilo another opportunity. Maybe nothing there. But African Stars finding opportunities, and it is as is. The Debmarine champions. They must. Unfortunately, I cannot commentate like that. So I'm just talking. I'm just a lover of football. Of course, more inclined to support African Stars and what they do. But it has been a great season to watch all these teams play. I've been paying attention to all teams. Of course, Footy Namibia on Twitter. It must be a shout out. Footy Namibia, if you want your current news on football on Twitter, go to Footy Namibia. Shout out to you. You have been doing an excellent job giving the people what they want when they want it. So there has been a great season all in all for Namibian football. And Jackson Johannes has done great there to stop Ilago Simon from getting his head on the ball. But he has injured himself in the result. And I think his game is done because that is a pelvic injury. I believe so. The way he fell there didn't look too good. And Jackson Johannes might have to be replaced. So Coach Ronnie Cananello will just have to look at that, which will be slightly unfortunate for the left back there. Focus on the game, definitely. Muchus, hey, I'm not fighting anything. I'm just talking. Johannes Jackson 1 2. There we go. And we are back with Gossip. I believe Jackson Johannes. Sorry for the sound. Thank you for updating us. And it will be a long throw in from Jackson Johannes. Throw in is long, but safely out there from Tumu and Haikali. Again, this is the man that really wants to score against African Stars. Nicodemus Haikali, the number 13 for Ongos FC. Keep your eyes on him. And that is a foul from Elago Simon on Charles Hambira. Charles is very smart. The two of them just talking to each other. Say, "Hela, boss. Don't do that to me, man." Charles Hambira. And Jackson Johannes has gone down once again. He cannot continue this game. Unfortunate for this player. I do believe it is a pelvic issue or perhaps something to his knee. Jackson Johannes. So a change is imminent for African Stars, and it is the change that I expected to be made with Romario Njavera coming into the game. And Kambanda has already made his way to left back. So rightfully so, it is what I predicted. Slow poison Javera will enter the game for Jackson Johannes. Just another update for those of you who can't really understand how the log table is going to be structured. Ongos FC have to win this game in order to have any opportunity of winning the league. Let me repeat that. Realistically, Ongos FC have to win this game in order to have any opportunity of winning the title. Safely controlled there by Hambira to his goalkeeper. Must be said, Kasitura hasn't had a lot to do other than the captain of Ongos FC costing himself his own opportunities by kicking two great opportunities in the first half over the bar, over the crossbar, and headering one clearly off target when he was basically in the middle of the goals. But the man that has come in for Disido, who has been suspended for accumulation of yellow cards, Marvin Kasitura, has done well. So it's not a weakness point for this goalkeeper coming into this game. Handball there for Kambanda. Unfortunate and unnecessary. And it does give a little bit of juice for Ongos FC to put that ball into the box. Haikali will come across to take it. He's very smart, the number 13. Nicodemus Haikali. Let's see what he can calculate over here. He goes back post. Header from Gianluca. It's still in the box. Woo! Stanley Njavera for Ongos FC almost kicked it in. But Hambira did well. The positioning of Charles Hambira must be 10 out of 10 so far this season. He's just in the right place at the right time in these defensive moments for African Stars, and that's another one. As Ongos FC almost made it 1-0. Hard tackle there on Kambatu. The referee not saying anything. Hard tackle between the two players, and the referee giving that as a foul or a throw in to Ongos FC. That's very interesting. There is a change here for Ongos FC. The number 17 will be coming on for the captain, Theophilus, who unfortunately and maybe rightfully so is the first man to be substituted for Ongos FC because he has unfortunately missed three big opportunities that will probably be a part of our highlight package after the game. But as a captain, you have to hold your head high or you have to hold your head low because you were the source of your team not scoring. But the player that has entered the game is number 7, Davison, with Awilo in the ascendancy. The Red Army wanting that attack. Gome. Junkie. Stiga. Gianluca. Juja. Stiga and Awilo working well, but Awilo just conceding that foul. And this is another water break, so perhaps time for everybody in the chat and myself to just have an update on what is going on in the Comas Nampel versus Civics game. Don't leave the stream. We are still live. It's just a water break. It is hot here. And there is one player that has stayed down for Ongos FC. Their medics have gone across the pitch just to see what is wrong with this player. I have yet to confirm. He hasn't moved. And I believe it was the player that suffered the free kick from Awilo, which might have been Tumu, just to confirm. And it does look concerning for this player, especially in the sun. Okakarara Young Warriors have lost versus Okanja United. So Okakarara Young Warriors with 26 points, 13th in the log. Maybe Jelinho are winning versus Blue Water, so Jelinho will probably jump. If my maths is correct, Jelinho will in fact jump Okakara Young Warriors if they beat Blue Waters. Nampol is apparently still losing to Civics. So ladies and gentlemen, if Comas Nampol lose to Civics and this game ends in a 0-0 result, in a draw, then realistically African Stars have won the title, because it will be then African Stars with 61 points, Ongos FC 58 points, 3 points between the two teams, but African Stars has a 15 goal advantage on goal difference, and there is a collision of heads between two players, Gianluca and Haikali. And Haikali has definitely, both players need to get medical assistance as soon as possible. Very concerning here. Both players have bumped each other's heads. Boom. We thoroughly hope that there is no open clashes of wounds here for both players. But just coming back to what will happen if this game does end in a draw and Comas Nampol lose, 61 African Stars, 58 Ongos FC, and even if African Stars lose their game against Orlando Pirates and Ongos FC win against Young African, Ongos FC will go to 61 points, but their goal difference you will never be able to catch up 15 goal difference. And with Comas Nampol losing today, they will never be able to get 61 points. So technically, if this game ends like this and Komas Nampo lose, the title is basically won, but the cup will not be lifted today. The referee is an Ongos supporter. Interesting. Haikuru is just saying, may it doesn't seem like a title deciding fixture, or maybe there's a sense of caution. I believe so. I think both teams are very cautious today. And you do say that they want to seal it today so that they can rest teams for Juja. Juja. Wide from Juja. Haikuru is just saying that maybe certain teams, African Stars, would want to close it off today so they can have some rest period for the NFA Cup. Yes, the NFA Cup is still happening in this postseason. So make sure you guys tune into that. We will be streaming those games. We will be streaming African Stars games and maybe more. Of course, NBC will be doing so themselves. So the NFA, the PISBet or PST bet NFA Cup will be an interesting tournament, just like the FA Cup in England. Alu is in the chat. Shot from Bakonja, safely blocked. I'm saying Juja, not Chucha. Maybe I'll say his name Yosef Ibrahim Yosef, the number 21 for African Stars, but his nickname is Juja. But I will continue to call him Yosef from now on because it's sounding like Chucha. "15 to 20 minutes to go in this game here at the Independence Stadium. My name is Emmanuel Inkara. I am in the commentary box, privileged to be watching this game live as there are many implications on what could happen. It is 0-0 between these two teams, and the goalkeeper has kept it in. Very well done there from Jonas Mateus, making sure that his goalkeeping coach is happy with his fitness. But as I said before, implications in this game, however the result. But as it stands, again, the biggest thing that needs to happen, or the biggest thing that can be said, is that Ongos FC must win in order to have any realistic opportunity of clinching the Debmarine Premiership. They must win. A draw is not enough. Stiga, tackle on Tumu. Foul, opportunity for Ongos FC. Shout out to you, Mr. Alu. I call you Alu, but your surname is here in full, so I must say it. Kamati, Mr. Kamati. You are not here taking pictures with us. Free kick, Haikali. Header. It's still in the box, but it's deemed to be offside. It's good to see Nicodemus Haikali, even though he is an Ongos FC player, a lot as well as Gianluca. It's good to see that both players are fit enough to continue, and I definitely wouldn't want Nicodemus Haikali to leave the pitch, the number 13, because he plays good football. Sometimes, if you are a supporter of a team, you must appreciate other players from other teams, opponents, and the number 13 for Ongos FC, as well as Wangu Gome, have been very good players to watch so far in this whole season, and especially in this game. Opportunity, the ball and the bounce, And Gossip was running around there, but the goalkeeper was alert enough. Good header there from Kambatu, who hasn't had many touches of the ball in the last 10 minutes. Injury. Injury for Stars. It is to Bakonja Chahikika. So there is a substitution that might be made, and it might be like for like, as Bakonja has suffered something maybe towards his head, which is always concerning. But Paulus is being prepared. He is coming on as a substitute, the number 11, the first young player. And Ronnie Cananello just giving him his last instructions to maybe cut through the heart of the defense of Ongos FC, Paulus. But Bakonja really seems to be the player that will be the one substituted. Yes, support, but don't praise them. Hey, these guys are playing football. What can we say? There seems to be something is happening off the field. It seems as if a supporter has entered. It seems to be a supporter has entered, was trying to enter the game. I, I, I can't confirm this as substitutions are being made. And in fact, Kambatu has been the player that has been substituted for Paulus. Chahikika Bakonja is still going to be able to continue. However, ladies and gentlemen, there was a supporter that was trying to enter the pitch, and the security guards are chasing him down at this present moment. Wow. Um, was he going to take off his clothes? Was he going to get a picture with his favorite player? We don't know, but let's focus on the game. Kambada with the header and a chest back from Gianluca to Kasitura. A question in the group: what happens to Ongos FC if they draw? They lose the league. Good ball there, but too straight for the new man, Davison. Kasitura just needs to watch out. Haikali is always going to be on his heels. Thank you, Mr. Haikuru, for putting it into writing that if they draw, they literally have to win their next game by 16 goals, which is very unrealistic. Almost a through ball there from Awilo to Juja. Ibrahim and Paulus. Maybe he's just suffering a high foot, but the referee allowing play to go on. Kambanda doing very well to keep Davison out here. Kambanda has done well coming here to left back, apologies. His headers have been very good. Wow. Did you guys just see that? Leddy thought the ball went out. He went to take a throw in with a ball that was out, but the other ball was actually still in play, and that was the ball that was still in play. So he literally had to go run and get that ball back. And Awilo, unfortunately, conceding a throw into Ongos again. So maybe Ongos FC players feeling the pressure of needing to get 3 points here. Of course, just a confirmation of that substitution. Kambatu coming off for Paulus, and the cross opportunity, header out from Charles Himbira. My goodness. Charles is always there, and Awilo gets an opportunity, a chance, a cross. Too much, Awilo. But Charles Mbira, wow. So far, man of the match. I mean, he's been involved in two, maybe three very important defensive interceptions. Gasep doing well against Davison. And Bakonja has space to work. He finds Awilo. Awilo flicks it on for Ibrahim Yosef. And I do not believe that was offside. Just rewind. Just rewind. Ladies and gentlemen, pause it right there and tell me if that was offside for Ibrahim. Looking at the replay, maybe he was offside. Update, Chula Chula is drawing against Live Fighters. Interesting. Any update for the Comas Nampol game? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a huge development. The goalkeeper for African Stars is lying down in injury type. He's injured. We don't know if he's going to come off, Marvin Kasitura, but it is very concerning now that African Stars might have to go into deep into their goalkeeping pocket. They do have Chatindi, the number 13, that could replace Kasitura, but Kasitura is, it does not look like he's going to stand up. Looks like a right leg injury to his right leg, which could either be a hamstring or a upper thigh concern. He's standing up now, and it's those changes to your goalkeeper that could cause African Stars some issues at the back, and Ongos FC would be licking their lips knowing that African Stars now have gone to their third choice goalkeeper in Chitindi. Well, they might have to, and Kasitura is limping. He's literally limping. In my opinion, if he cannot continue, he should not continue, because he would be compromising his team if he's limping on that right leg. Cruz, I'm supporting African Stars. I couldn't see that was a clear offside. Okay. I did say I looked at the replay and it looked like it was offside, so I apologize. Any update from the UNEM game? Yes. Any update from the UNEM game? Comas Nampol have scored against Civics. It is 1-1. Wow. That means, in fact, Comas Nampol have to win that game. Comas Nampol have to win that game in order to have any say on the title. So if they draw and this game ends in a draw, African Stars have basically won the league on goal difference. Or maybe on points, depending on what happens in the last game. But Comas Nampol have to win in order to have any say on the league title. But if Ongos FC draw today, they are out of this league title, realistically. Just kidding, commentator. I see you, Cruz. I see you. Is your name Tony Cruz? Young African versus Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates are winning that game, which maybe takes them out of the relegation battle. Wow. It's very tight there between Okakarare Young Warriors. Free kick to Ongos FC. Haikali takes it. It's good one, but Kasitura puts faith back into his coach Ranu Kanalelo to say, I am not ready to be substituted. And the ball comes in, and there are three Ongos FC players that are willing to get the ball. Wow! Opportunity and over the crossbar by the defender. Wow. The number 23, Chingi, the cross came in and there were literally 3 Ongos FC players available to put it back into the box. It came back into the box. And the number 23, who's on the ball right now, who's unable to clear it. Okay, second opportunity he does. Awilo was close to him. But Chingi lofting it over the crossbar. And I mean, the highlights of today's game are mostly misses from Ongos FC. That's what most of these highlights will be looking like after this game. Here's Gome, Stiga, Kasep, and Javera will clean up. Slow poison, finding Paulus. Good tackle from him, and it ends up in a throw into Stars. Chula Chula are winning now. Live Fighters, that's not a good result. That might be done for Live Fighters. 3-0, 3-1 to Chula Chula now. That is definitely now goodbye to Live Fighters, who came third last season. Ladies and gentlemen, Live Fighters came third last season, and now they are bottom of the log. It's incredible. Substitutions for African Stars. Bakonja Chaikika coming off along with Awilo, and it is Owen Damasep, the number 22, and Aubrey, the number 15, coming on for African Stars. Wanikanalelo there shouting to the referee of the game, or perhaps Aubrey. But wow, how many chances should Ongos FC receive? They need to win this game to have any opportunity, any realistic opportunity to capture the log. Not the log, the title. Good play there from Damasep to find his captain, Stiga. Stiga will have a shot. No, he has a through ball, and that's a foul. And Joseph Ibrahim is going to receive a yellow card for dissent. I stood up here in the commentary box just to maybe look at a possible penalty awarded to African Stars, but it was good play from Owen Damasep to find Stiga, and Stiga maybe doesn't take shots with his left foot, found a through ball with his left foot to Joseph, but it was simulation more than anything else, and that was a yellow card to Ibrahim Yosef Juja. I know it says 92 minutes on our clock, but that is perhaps as the time was running during half time. Yellow card to Charles Mbida for time wasting. Wow, that's interesting. But the game is closing down, and I'm just looking at the touchline to look at the fourth officials creating the additional time board so that they can put it up so I can announce how much added time will be added to this game. But as we all know so far, I don't need to say it over and over again, Comas Nampol are drawing 1-1, which will put them out of the title. And if this game ends like this, it basically means African Stars have won the game. Sorry, the title. Panduleni Mikundi saying that African Stars haven't been threatened in this game. I disagree. Substitution for Ongos FC seems sees Nicodemus Haikali coming off for the number 7 Malakia Thomas or Thomas. He is a midfielder, but he will definitely be attacking the number 7 Malakia Thomas, coming on for Haikali. Haikali will probably be disappointed that he didn't get himself on the score sheet. He had one good opportunity with a header, but it must be said the captain, Theophilus, had 3 to 4 opportunities for Ongos FC, didn't put them away, and now they are in this position. Paulus is obviously wasting time for African Stars. Additional time has not been added on yet, so we haven't reached the 90th minute according to the referees. So game does continue. Charles Mbida with the header out. Charles Mbida, man of the match in my opinion. Banduleni Nekundi, I must say, Ongos FC have had more of the opportunities. So African Stars were living a little bit dangerously in this game. But the mathematics now, the numbers are just in the favor of African Stars. Good play there from Ongos FC, but still in the hands of Kasetura, who has mended his injury and looks like a new man. Still waiting for how much time will be added on. If it ends this way, the cup will not be lifted today. But I can assure you, if you do your maths correctly and you are a good supporter of football, knowing that Ongos FC won't be able to beat Young African 15 goals to nil, you will then know that African Stars have won the league. So we will be looking at how many people rush the pitch. Gossip. Foul on Gossip from Larry. Good foul there for Stars to just get a breather. Oh, you said that Stars have not threatened Ongos FC much. Yes, that is true. That is true. No clear-cut opportunities from African Stars today in this game. Perhaps Ronnie Cananlelo, it will be interesting to ask him after the game, knowing that a draw would be enough to close out Ongos FC if parking the bus was a tactic. Tamasep losing that header, and here's Davison beating his player, but too much, and it results in a goal kick. There are a few players now in the, or not players, but there are a few people in the chat making sure that you don't put chula chula results here. Just looking at how other teams are doing around the log table. It looks like it is 97 minutes. There is a few people on the touchline complaining that the referees are just continuing to add on time. Aubrey, opportunity. He should have taken a shot, but it does find its way to Paulus, who puts in that ball. It finds Gossip. Gossip will think about it. He finds Juja and safely away from Komas Nampo. And of course, it is a foul, but advantage to Ongos FC. Here's Tumu, who was unfortunately put it out for a throw to Stars. And Sligon is actually telling the truth. We will not probably lose against Orlando Pirates. So even if they do beat Young African by 15 goals, we will not lose to Orlando Pirates. So the league is basically done. Make sure to watch out what Komas Nampol are doing right now. Here's Gome trying to beat Stiga. Stiga will not allow Gome to go past. He just wants him to stay in his own half. Wangu Gome. But here's Davison. He puts in a cross trying to find Tumu. But Charles Mbida is just smart, man. He's just smart. He's positioning. Every single time the ball comes into the box or Ongos FC start to thread passes through the middle, Charles Mbida has been in the right place at the right time. I mean, how much minutes are added on here? It is full time here at the Independence Stadium, and you can see Ongos FC players going down. African Stars players are still composed because the job is not done, but we know watching live that it is realistically done. And ladies and gentlemen, I will say it in this way. As the game has ended here, Ongos FC know, African Stars know, realistically, African Stars are the Debmarine champions for 2023-2024. Do not quote me on that. But in my opinion, the Red Army has done enough to win the title. The cup will not be lifted today, and that's why they are probably moving in a somber motion. But they know in their hearts that the title has been confirmed realistically. I will try to get Charles Mbida. I'll try to interview him after this game. It will be interesting to hear his opinion on how he did today. But thank you all. Thank you all for watching this live stream. We will be live streaming, of course, against Orlando Pirates, so we can see our boys lift the trophy. But for this game here at the Independence Stadium between Ongos FC and African Stars, it has ended in a 0-0 result. My name has been Emmanuel Inkara, or my name is Emmanuel Inkara. Thank you to Tate David for the camera work. Wow. Thank you to you, Red Army. The title is ours, maybe. See you next time.